Warning. The following program contains strong language and subject matter which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this program is intended for mature audiences only.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive vodcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that are not. Who knows? We are really just here to have a good time. We have a rather fantastic show planned for you this Eontide. We have the fantabulous Duchess of Northumberland, Lady Elizabeth PERCY, joining us this evening from Onyx Castle. And we have a woman I've never heard of before, and I am a little terrified of. ESTEE Lauderdale will be joining us here this evening. I am so excited to talk to them both. Sadly, my lovely friend Amethyst Diamond could not join us this evening. She was a bit under the weather, but my heart does go out to her, and I hope she is doing well. We do have some people already tuning in. We have Jess joining us. Hello, my darling. We've got Derek, who will not leave me alone. I believe he's stalking me, to be quite frank. And we have the fantastic Uma Voshin joining us all the way from Crossford. Fantastic. I'm very excited to see some of my new wonderful Crossfordian friends. Ava Rage is watching this evening. Hello, my darling. Daniel Jackson, one of our Patreon, is joining us this year. All right, the accent is not going to last the entire night, and I held out as long as I could. But while I am here, I'm going to give you all a little bit of who, what, where about me. Who am I? I am the Lady Viola, England's leading lady. I am a star of this stage, and I am coming to the New Jersey Renaissance Fair this year with my wonderful compatriots, the Ladies Players. It's going to be fantastic. I am joined by our wonderful production and stage manager, Portia Verona. I've got my new leading man, Robin Ganymede. I have my party animal best buddy, drinking friend, Henry Falstaff. And on two very special occasions, we will be joined by Mistress Hermia. So I'm very excited for that. What am I wearing? I almost spit all over everything when I said that. I very much wanted to point out what I am wearing this evening, for I have gotten a brand new outfit this year. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to Jessica from Domenica's Fine Fashion at Etsy. I had originally gotten this wonderful, wonderful shirt from her. She did all the embroidery, and I was trying to find someone to do a gown for me. And she reached out, and we communicated, and I sent her fabric. She sent it back, and it fits like a glove. That glove is one size too small because I've eaten too much since I commissioned it, but it still fits like a glove. And I'm absolutely overjoyed to debut this outfit this Saturday. Where can you find me? Well, you can find me this Saturday and Sunday at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair. That is right. We are going into our 14th year with the New Jersey Renaissance Fair. We are at the Burlington County Fairgrounds this year. It has been a bit of a trial and tribulation to get there, but we are just a few days away. I'm very excited to get started. And I'm very excited to start this evening. Why did I put that back up there? I have no idea what is going on. Couple other people tuning in. Fantastic. Now, I would like to bring in first a person who I am very excited to get to know better this evening, someone who has followed Inside the Drag Closet for quite some time and is also one of our fantastic Patreons. I would like to welcome all of you to ESTEE Lauderdale.
I didn't come here to win. I came here to make friends. Hi, Jade. Hi, Lady Viola. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, darling?
I'm doing fantastic. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here today. Finally, all of my months of paying your Patreon bills has worked out for me. I have capitalism my way into this show, and that is just to show you that commerce is still alive. The economy is bouncing back, people.
It's bouncing back in this economy, really.
And
Estee, I do want to give you a huge shout out and a shout out to all of our Patreons. Their names are going to be scrolling across the bottom of the screen for a bit. But
there I am. I saw myself.
there you are. You're right there.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if you could give us a little who, what, where about you.
I have been waiting so long to do this. Hi, I am ESTEE Lauderdale. I am New Hope, Pennsylvania's new rising starlet. I'm a comedian, an MC, and well, an all-around good time gal. A little bit about me: I'm wearing some Miriam Luciano, the queen of the sequin gown. I'm wearing jewels by Amber Rains, my one and only. I love her to death. My breasts are from Elias Closet. I just recently had a breast reduction because Mama lost a little bit of weight and the neckline wasn't fitting so good. So now she's back to her fighting weight. And where can you find me? Well, there are many street corners at which I am known to frequent, but you can find me on my social medias at ESTEE Lauderdale on Facebook, ESTEE_Lauderdale. Believe it or not, it was taken on Instagram. And you can find me on Venmo at ESTEE Lauderdale too, if you were so inclined to do so.
I love that. Who would have the audacity to take Estee Lauderdale other than you?
I honestly don't know. I played around with so many drag names when I was starting out. At one point, I wanted to be Urethra Franklin, but then I was like, you know what? I don't think that might not be bookable. I was Leanne Cuisine, which made sense when it was written out, but in being spoken, I feel like it would get lost. And then one day I said, I just happened to be in the cosmetic store, and I said, oh, look, it's Estee Lauder jail, and it was this magical moment, and I was like, no, that's the name. I have to use that name. Now I just have to start doing drag. That's the part no one tells you, is once you pick out the name, you actually have to become a drag queen and use the name after that.
Yeah, it's awkward. It's very awkward.
Yeah, it's been very expensive.
That's true. You have been building a fantastic name for yourself for quite some time, though. And I have to tell you, the first time I met you, you came to see Pola at Divas Down Under.
I did. My beloved drag mother, Pola Frost, the queen of the Crocs.
We love some Pola Frost. She is actually set to come back to Divas Down Under, I believe, in August this year. So I'm very excited to see her again, because it's been a minute, but she has been putting together amazing wigs and headpieces, and I couldn't be prouder of her. And she was on Camp Kiki.
She sure was. Queen of season 4, Miss Congeniality.
Yep. And they just announced season 5.
They just did. Yes, they did. Camp Kiki, I feel like it flies under the radar. It highlights a section of drag that I don't think gets talked about enough, and that's the kooky, campy, as the name would suggest, drag queens. It's beautiful. The competition is not cutthroat. These girls are not there to hate each other. They're not there to build drama. They're there to show off their characters that they've created, and it's such an amazing show. And Pola had such a great showcasing of her work. She got kicked off a little bit too soon, if you ask me, but what we saw of her was so amazing, and we got to see the real Pola Frost, for better or for worse.
That's true. There wasn't a moment in that show that I was just kind of like, that's not my girl. That's not my sister. Yep. She was Pola the whole time.
She sure was. And camp drag, I love talking about camp drag because I started camp in a campground, or started drag in a campground. Oh my God, I can't talk. I'm so excited. I started my drag journey at the Woods Campground, which is a gay clothing optional campground up in the Poconos Mountains. And I had always wanted to know, how do I start drag? And I went on a whim, and I saw Pola and the other girls putting on an amazing show. And I said, please, Miss Blue-haired woman, how do I become a drag queen? And she took me under her very large wing. And ever since then, I've just been embracing the camp drag lifestyle, whether that be my campy can-do attitude or my actual performing outside in a campground.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. This weekend actually is the 2-year anniversary of Drag Your Ass to the Woods weekend, which is where I got my start. That's where I actually became ESTEE Lauderdale. So I'm glad you got this booking for me, because this is going to be a big weekend. This is my 2-year anniversary. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Has it been 2 years already? That's
It has been 2 years. I wouldn't count most of that first year. It was a little rough. As our mutual friend will tell you, some of that first year was not pretty, and I'm currently not pretty either. So I have something to aspire to. I can see this lash getting a little wonky, but we're going to power through.
Exactly. You make do with what you got.
Absolutely, absolutely.
One of our fantastic Patreons just reminded us, hey, don't forget to share the video, because the more you share, the more watches we get, the more likes we get, and the more people get to see what we talk about.
Absolutely. Be a Sunny and share.
Oh, God. Yeah, she got the jokes.
I'll let myself out. I'm sorry.
This has been it's funny. I was joking about setting up, because I am currently in our good Duchess's basement, surrounded by alcohol. That hasn't been crucial to my last couple of weeks at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. You're pickled at this point.
It's true.
You're indestructible.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about when you started doing drag, did you instantly know what you wanted to do as a performer, or were you just kind of I know I want to do this, but I don't know what trajectory I want to be on?
So when I started, I tried to start it from a very kind of realistic standpoint. I was like, I'm not going to be sexy. I'm not going to give full female illusion. I'm not a dancer. My feet barely work as it is. So I knew if I was going to do drag, I needed to find the comedic route to do drag. And I needed to find a way to make lip syncing exciting for me. I'm going to reveal a little special something about myself. Lip syncing, not my favorite part of drag. I am disappearing into the background. I understand sort of the place lip syncing has, and I think the people who do it so well, and it's beautiful, and it's a way of embodying the spirit of a performer. For me personally, I see myself as more of the comedian or the person behind the microphone. So I said, if I'm going to do lip syncing, I need to do songs that I'm excited about. And so for me, it was kind of taking songs and flipping them on their head. So my first performance was to the Lady Gaga song Manicure, which is an ode to self-care and beauty. And I was like, okay, love the song. How do I make this fun? I did a wig reveal in my very first number. I had hair that was in highlight foils, and I basically structured that wig so it was a helmet, and then ripped it off and had a silver wig underneath. And then the cape that I was wearing, like I was in the salon, it was actually a skirt that I put up around my shoulders, untied it, and let it fall. And I had a bodysuit covered in hair extensions. So that was sort of the bar I set for myself of, I'm not just going to go out there and flap my lips to like a Dionne Warwick song. If I'm going to lip sync, I'm going to create something. And so from that, I just continued down that comedic path, tried to improve my makeup as I went, because even though I spent 20 years in the beauty industry between selling, doing hair, I actually worked in a funeral home and did makeup on the recently deceased. Drag makeup is not beauty makeup. The two do not always correlate. So I knew where to find good products and how to hold a brush, but I had no idea how to do drag makeup. So from the beginning, it was all about trial and experimentation, whether that be experimenting with my performances, experimenting with my looks, experimenting with my makeup, and failing miserably and learning something new every time. I would beat myself up a lot in those early days, but it was great to have a friend like Pola Frost, who is a incredibly seasoned veteran. Like, we're talking 75 years doing drag. And
True.
She helped to ground me, and she helped to, I'm really disappearing into this background, Jesus Christ.
It's got a personality.
It sure does. At least one part of me does. At least one part of me has a personality. It was important to have that seasoned veteran to keep me grounded and remind me that, okay, your wig fell off on stage. My wig has fallen off on stage twice a year since I was 12. Like, get over it. the audience doesn't care. The audience cares that you're having fun. And so taking these lessons, taking these experimentations, taking these failures, and turn it into who I am now, for better or for worse. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
It's so true, though. Like, I like that you talk about, you know, making mistakes, because I've always said there's no such thing as failure. There's just early attempts at success.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't know who said that originally, but you know what? Here it is.
I believe that was Mike Pence.
Mike Pence. Cool.
Mike
I will
Pence,
not give him credit for it.
No, he gets none.
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah, and I have met so many new drag queens and baby queens. I'm still myself quite the baby queen. I'm barely potty trained at 2 years old. And it's why I wear such thick padding.
Okay.
And they are so afraid to make mistakes the way that I was afraid of making mistakes. And I just keep reminding them, girl, mess up. But if you mess up, learn something from it.
Yeah, you don't have to have it all figured out right away. Like, making mistakes is a great way to learn. Like,
absolutely.
I've built a career on it. Like, I like, seriously, I have screwed up my whole life, but I learned from those screw ups, and it has turned me into the performer I am now. And I wouldn't regret that well, there are some things I regret, but you know, that's life.
Absolutely. Yeah. I also learned in that time, I'm not a competitive person. I'm not a pageant queen, because the pain of failing and then being judged on the failure wasn't for me. And so I just kind of learned to pick and choose where I'm going to put my talents into.
Yep. And I'm in a similar boat. I just don't like the person I am when I compete.
Yes. Yes.
Because I'm very competitive, and I don't like that about myself.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid it. I don't like finding out someone's in competition with me, because I'm not competing with anybody.
No.
That's not my life. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just be a fun performer and share what I do.
Yeah. And you do such a great job of that, especially the sharing what you do part. Part of my love for Inside the Drag Closet is that it's real talk about the realities of drag. It's something that's so glamorized because most of us get exposed to drag on RuPaul's Drag Race. So we see established queens in a edited, semi-scripted environment. We don't see the reality of a drag queen. Even your local drag scene, you're probably just seeing their performance. You're not seeing the 12 days of lead up to that show of all the stoning they're doing, all the sequening, all of the nights spent up trying to learn choreography for a number. And that's what Inside the Drag Closet gives you, that real talk about real drag. Write that down.
You just got a really good shout out from the incredible Jackie, who, if you do not know, is such a remarkable photographer. ESTEE Lauderdale is so fun and genuine. I loved working with her recently with photos, which were the photos we used for the show.
Right? Absolutely. I took one of Derek's helpful drag tips of the day, which was to get good photographs to promote yourself. I was that selfie queen. I was the one, like, holding up my phone, trying to get like a good angle. And they'd be like, yeah, I'm a one-armed queen. That's why you should book me. And then I asked around, like, who is a good photographer? Who do I know that can do good drag photos? And so many people said her name. And I said, okay, she's the one. And she was the one. She understands what we want to accomplish as a drag queen. She gave me free reign to do the looks that I wanted, but she put her own professional judgment on it, and she put her own professional touch to it. And an incredibly fast turnaround on those photographs as well. I think we took over 1,000 photographs that day, and within like 2-3 days, I had the fully edited, curated looks. Yeah, so she is fantastic. Please reach out to her if you want promotion photos. Doesn't just have to be for drag. She's a talented photographer. She can help you with whatever you want. But I have been saying for the last few months that drag is moved forward by straight people who own things. So whether that be our clubs that host us, or in my case, the New Hope Inn and Suites, which is a hotel that just loves the gay community, or more recently, Jackie and her camera. So thank you, straight people. We love you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, Estee, I do have another guest to get to, but
Okay.
are you going to hang around for a little bit?
I guess so. I guess I can stick around.
Awesome. Well, I will chat with you again in just a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I am having so much fun already. This is such a fun episode. Just so everybody knows, while you're watching this evening, if you have any questions for any of us, go ahead and just type them in the chat and I will save them and we will be getting to your questions in just a little bit. But I do have another guest to get to. She is someone who is well above my station, but I love her unconditionally. She is such an incredible human being. I would not be the woman I am without her, and I do mean that as an insult. Let us welcome to Inside the Drag Closet the lovely Duchess of Northumberland, Lady Elizabeth PERCY.
God, ye good den gentles. Oh, Jade. Who's Jade? Oh, Lady Viola, darling. It is wondrous to how dare you look. I've got this lash is just being heterophobic, and I'm not having a good time with it right now.
That's what they do.
As soon as the good Lady Lauderdale was like, oh, thank goodness for straight people, the eyelash was just like, I'm out of here. I'm not having any of this. Curled lash. But so I did pour myself a glass of champagne. I wanted to make a thing of it on the camera, and I'm glad that I did not, because it exploded all over the place, and I'm going to have to clean that up later. But I am toasting to the New Jersey Renaissance Faire, because it might be a little early to say this. I didn't want to say this until Saturday morning, but I dare say we made it.
We made it.
I dare say. I think I could. I'm pleased.
I have 8 more hours of rehearsal.
Sucker.
And you have to be there tomorrow.
But and as you know, for those of you that don't know, so CrossFit is a small town in the Duchy. I'm knocking on. Thank you, darling. That is a wonderful Uma Vashan, who will be in the Duchess Happy Hour show that we'll talk about later. But for those of you that do not know, so CrossFit is a small town located in the Duchy of Northumberland, and it resides next to magical woods. And the magical woods send us visitors from out of time every year. And I do to have a magical visitor here with me right now. A bit out of time, I have Polar Frost's parents. They were twins.
That explains a lot.
They're lesbians. All right, this lash is just gonna go away now. I tried. They less than 5 minutes in, and I'm already taking my one sip into champagne. The lashes are gone. But I tried.
And this is why the Duchess is no longer invited to whiskey tasting.
But someone gave me these before I came on. They said that you cannot do drag without them. They're nails.
Yes, you cannot do drag without your nails.
All right, excellent. I'm scared. I don't want to.
You should.
Those are all the props I brought.
I love it. Estee would like to know, for Polar Frost's parents, do you regret everything? That would be a yes. Excellent.
It's a tube. I don't know if that was a nod or a shake.
Jess actually has a question here. What are some of your favorite things about the New Jersey Ren Fair? What are some must-sees?
Oh my goodness, there's so many must-sees. I'm going to plug shows I'm not in first. There is Shelly Buttons. She is amazing. She just gives not a fig for gravity. And someone called her a contortionist. She's not a contortionist. She's an aerialist. So she flips around in the air with silks or a lyra. She, I haven't seen her do the balancing on the ball trick, but she walks on bottles. She's amazing. She juggles. Juggling is probably my least favorite part, but and she is just like the sweetest little squeaky Harley Quinn freak of nature thing that I love her. There's the Lords of Adventure. They are just Muppets. Oh, goodness. Oh, the Jacques Whipper. That's going to be our after hours this Saturday. I always say that that is the best show to watch from behind because I see everything from the dais. And you probably know him from the Tic Tac. He's very, very popular these days. But the shows I'm in. Talent. What's that?
He also just did America's Got Talent.
Oh, wondrous.
Indeed, come see him.
But there's my show. There's Happily Whatever After, a mixed marital arts show. That's relatively new. We just started doing that last year. That's a show that my husband and I do. That's one that you might not want to bring the littles to. And of course, the improv show that the good Uma Vashan is going to be a part of is called Duchess Happy Hour, and it is an improv show of improvisational comedy and things.
I love it. I have to say, just a huge shout out to you. Your improv troupe, they are all new this year.
Yes. Which
is a testament. We had a lot of new faces in CrossFit this year. More so than ever before.
Aye.
We were just a few weeks into rehearsal. You wouldn't know who was a veteran and who was not because they all just got along and they all just blended and they all just came together and did the job.
And most of the people that we have been to CrossFit on the other side of the other side of the gob, the other side of the pin. Oh.
Yes.
And so, they come in and they understand the what we're trying to build. And they're just like, we want to build this thing with you because this is amazing. This is the love bubble and just the camaraderie, the friendship, the magic. They want to come and build it.
We've got Bonhams.
Patrons.
So
happy.
I wanted to talk just for a moment about just our incredible cast and the amount of work that they have put in this year. And I do want to talk very briefly about the changes that have happened this year.
What changes?
Exactly. Technically speaking, this is new CrossFit. I know. That's why we're talking about it briefly. We have pulled together, we have done miracles, and we could not have done it without all of them. You talked about the Lords of Adventure. Please, everybody, go to one of their shows because those two, if they can swing swords after what they have been through, kudos to them. I told them the two of them should just sit on the stage and let us applaud them because they have been doing 16-hour days to get this fair ready.
Aye.
Our lovely artistic director, he is running the money closing weekend. He's not even going to be able to get out to the fair. And he left me in charge.
What's the worst that could happen?
Choices.
Speaking of you, darling, I am Lady Elizabeth Percy, Duchess of Northumberland. I am wearing a Jade de Vere's old hand-me-downs. Just had to throw that out there. If they look familiar, they are.
So the reason the Lady Duchess is wearing my dress is because her rain dress was not available for an event. So we realized my dress, we had to take it in a bit, but it fit her.
I don't think we do. We have to take it in.
I moved the things closer. So
yeah. Yes, these are
those things. Because the ones on that ended up on this.
Recycling, I love it.
In this economy. This is the first night where I haven't felt absolutely delirious, just with the amount of work that we've all been trying to do lately. And this is the kind of night I definitely needed.
No. Are you not feeling delirious? Should I bring Pola's parents back?
God's sake.
Mr. Frost!
You know what? Let's add to that delirium. Shall we bring back our other guest?
We should.
Excellent. I'm going to tempt fate and I'm going to welcome back and throw myself under the bus that I like to call ESTEE Lauderdale. who still has her camera on mute.
Is that a fat joke? Because it should be. Even better the second time.
Well, and I wanted to put everything together because you two are actually good friends as well.
We're besties. We're besties.
I get around.
Yeah, you sure do.
I collect drag queens like some people collect Pokemon.
That's accurate.
But yes, if you now it's not every Friday, but they the hotel that Lady Lauderdale mentioned has karaoke, and that is I guess I became aware of her in the comment section of this show, and I added her on the Book of Faces, and she just consistently had me in stitches with all of her funny posts. And she's like, "I'm doing karaoke." I'm like, "I would like to be a part of that." And that's not too far from me, so I did, and I got there, and I'm like, "Oh, aren't you adorable? What's up with this?" And we just became friends.
Yes. It's a real Lady and the Tramp story. I nudged her a meatball with my nose. It was beautiful. Yeah, that was something I forgot to mention.
I left her to be captured by the dog catcher. It was great.
Yeah, so I was watching, I believe it was this episode last year of the two of you talking about the fair, and I was enamored by this amazing comedian that you had on. Not only was she beautiful, but she was incredibly talented. And yeah, we formed this natural bond together, and I host a monthly drag karaoke show in New Hope. It is the love of my life. I was someone who I went to karaoke 3 times a week prior to the pandemic. And then when the world died, I didn't know quite what to do. And I had this opportunity to start hosting karaoke, and it has just been my favorite thing ever since. But from that, I was finally able to meet this amazing person who I cherish so deeply, and they also have taught me a thing or two about the universe of improv, about yes-anding your way through a scene, and I love them so much for that.
Well, that's a natural segue enough. If you are in the Trenton area and you find yourself free on a Tuesday between 6:30 and 8:30, and you would like to join an improv troupe, learn more about improv, improve your public speaking, or any combination therein, we do improv rehearsal, meetup, whatever you wish to call it.
Paula, we found your parents.
Do come out to Passage Theatre, Mill Hill. Follow Trenton Makes Improv on Instagram or Facebook for more details.
Fantastic.
And
but we have 3 questions so far. Feel free, everybody out there, if you have more questions, don't hesitate to ask. Unfortunately, we will answer them. So the first question, thank you. We'll send to the Duchess first. Robin would like to know, how is everyone doing this evening? That's it.
That was my favorite answer from Galahad so far. I'm wondrous this evening. I'm just trying to get everything in line, pack my bags, and be ready for Saturday.
Yes, Saturday's going to be wild. How about you, Estee? How are you doing this evening?
Terrible.
Good.
No, I'm having the time of my life. I have been waiting for this moment for so long. I've been trying to bribe Amethyst, but turns out I can't find contour that she doesn't already own. So I didn't have any ammunition, so I didn't know what to offer. But the cards finally stacked in my favor. I had to ask. If you're wondering, I had to ask.
Yes, and don't let us keep you after the show. You do need to go open your trunk and let Amethyst out at some point.
True. Very true.
We weren't going to talk about that. That was awful.
I like her.
Oopsie. I do have a funny story about when the Duchess came to her first drag show that I was in, because it was a huge room. There were a lot of people tipping. It was absolutely fantastic. And at one point, I'm just handfuls of money. And I kind of gave her a heads up, but not a very good one. And I was
Brag much.
you're welcome. And literally, I'm just like, here, take all of this. And she's like, but just throwing money at the Duchess. That's how she met the Duke.
That's my favorite form of tipping. Not like the $1 at a time. Just like, here you go. Here's my bank account. You're welcome.
Oh, I know. Like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get ones. All I have is 20s. Oh no.
Oh no. But can we talk about that person who always puts out the dollar and then they're like, oh no. Oh, no.
Oh, I don't take those.
You have to work for it. I'm like, no. I get paid. I don't get paid by the hour. We're not doing this.
Yeah. I legit, like, you pull it away once, I move on.
Yeah, exactly.
A while ago at Divas Down Under, we actually had someone who got really shitty with a performer because he was like, I held out my dollar and you didn't take it. And she was like, do you see the other 179 people in this room holding up money? Too bad.
We've got a stage kitten for that.
Exactly. Kathy would like to know, Estee, where can we see you? New Hope is very close to her.
You can see me in all of your sleep paralysis dreams. You can also see me at the New Hope Inn and Suites, previously called the Clarion Hotel. They are under new ownership. I host, usually it's the first or second Friday of the month. Follow the Gay Men's Club of New Hope. That is where I do most of my events through. This coming Saturday is actually New Hope Pride. So I understand you might be torn between going to the Ren Fair or going to New Hope Pride. I will say the Ren Fair is multiple days and New Hope Pride comes just once a year, just like me in my previous marriage. And there will be events and drag shows that entire weekend. I am performing at the closing party, which is a pool party, the following day, Sunday the 21st at 4 o'clock at the New Hope Inn and Suites. It'll be my first time performing in front of a pool. So I do hope I drown because there will be no topping that from then on. And speaking of not being able to top things, my first marriage. Also, Saturday night after the parade, is my very first sex toy bingo that I am hosting, and that's going to be out in Easton, Pennsylvania. It's a little bit of a hike if you live near New Hope, but I think it'll be worth it, and that is through my friends at Punch Out Games. So follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I post everything that I'm doing. Follow the Gay Men's Club of New Hope, which is the organization that I do a lot of my performing with, or just, hop in the trunk with Amethyst. I'll take you wherever you need to go.
Is there?
Did I yes and enough? Did I do it?
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
I took the offer.
Paula wants to know what you're talking about, young lady. Marriage?
Yeah, a lady can dream, okay? A lady can dream.
Fantastic. Kathleen would like to know, why are you all so fabulous?
I was born that way.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Some people are born that way.
Old parents, yep.
I'm going to take the opposite approach. I'm rigorous practice. Daily. Yep. Up at 4 a.m. Back, pee, then go back to bed.
True.
And as I talked about with Amethyst, trial and error. I did not start like this. Hopefully I don't end like this either. But I did not start this way. I had to work to become the person that I am currently.
Why does Estee's hair keep disappearing?
Because I tried to do something really cool and have a virtual background. Also, this is a Wigs by Vanity, and they're very hard to get your hands on. So it gets skittish sometimes. And it just kind of like, oh, someone wants the wig, disappear. That's why. Stop asking questions, Mom. You should ask where my lash has gone. It's there, I promise.
Mine are next to me.
Yeah, it's there. It's just not showing on camera. It's camera shy.
My little pet caterpillars. They're gonna turn into butterflies. No, I've often said that I have failed more things than most people try, and I wear that as a badge of honor. Like, they say, oh, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. And it's cheesy, but it's true. Like, you just you throw yourself out there.
Yes. Don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself. Drag is, I understand drag is a serious thing for some people. Drag is fun. Drag is stupid. I imagine, I am personally not a Ren Fair performer, but I do have lots of admiration for those of you who are. And I have to imagine it's similar. This is fun. There are probably some really serious reenactors. Yeah, yeah.
Because I can't get you to stop punning on Tuesdays.
That's why my first marriage failed.
But it's just, stop taking yourself so serious. Oh, you're going to embarrass yourself? You know, it's more embarrassing never trying anything.
Yeah. That hits really hard, If you're going to just live your life afraid of everything, are you living?
Well, that took a somber note. Yeah, wow. Okay.
Nailed it.
Oh, this is my life. Another question. Jess would like to know. We'll all answer this one, but we'll start with ESTEE. What is your favorite song to sing on karaoke?
Yeah, I have a feeling Katie or the Duchess knows the answer to this one. It is Cher's "Dark Lady." I feel like it's not a huge Cher hit, but it is a song that I heard a lot in the car in my childhood. And it's the story of a woman who sees a fortune teller, and the fortune teller turns out to be having an affair with her man. And it's this amazing song, and I personally love it, and I start almost every show with it. That's how I get the ball rolling at karaoke.
It's true.
Have you heard the soundtrack to the Cher show yet?
I have not.
It's a Broadway musical where 3 women play Cher.
Uh-huh.
And it's Cher's life. But she has scenes with herself.
I want to see this.
It looks so fantastic.
Well, let's hop on a train. Let's go right now.
Let's go right now.
All right, bye guys. This has been great.
Have a great fair weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Don't feed Amethyst for me.
Right. How about you, Your Grace? What is your favorite karaoke song?
So, I mean, the song that I enjoy singing the most is actually "You Never Call Me by My Name" by David Allan Coe. It is not a pretty song, it is not a feminine song, but I have fun with it because it is stupid. And it's been a while since I've sang that in a room where people knew what song that was. I bet there is no comments in the scroll right now. It was just like going off to Google going, what is she on about?
Jade, our viewership is way down.
Right?
Stop talking about that song.
What's that?
The numbers are tanking. Stop her talking about the song. Move on.
Apparently I sing science fiction from Rocky Horror Picture Show, because the last time we were there, Mike Russo was like, "Oh, are you going to sing that song you always sing?" And I was like, "What song do I always sing?" He's like, "Yeah, the song you always sing." And I was like, And apparently it was that. So I was like, "Oh, all right, that's sure."
My go-to used to be "Somebody to Love" by Queen, but I no longer have the range to do it or the determination to do it, because that song is a beast. I have not done karaoke in, I think, over 10 years. I need to fix that.
You do?
I know just the place.
How about that? Where is that?
That is the New Hope Inn and Suites. We'll be back for karaoke on June 2nd from 9 to midnight. There's actually a boylesque show going on that night. So there's going to be an all-male burlesque review at the New Hope Inn and Suites in the Diva Lounge. And then followed thereafter by my karaoke show. So if you're in the area, yeah, just like that. Yep.
Oh, that's the recreation of it.
That we put the magic in Magic Mike, and we will be having my karaoke afterwards. So if you're in the area and you want to see some men gyrating or some drag queens desperate for someone to tip them, you can come to our shows.
I can't think of a better way to cap off a school day.
That's true. We have school groups coming to the Ren Fair that day.
We get out of school day, start drinking.
Mhm.
And then 6 hours later, we go to karaoke. I think this is a great plan.
I'm behind it.
I love this plan if there wasn't rehearsal that day. I have to rehearse all the understudies that day.
Nobody asked you.
Fine, we'll start
No,
drinking
it's
at
in my
6.
contract now.
You have 3 hours to rehearse, and then we start drinking.
Then we start drinking. Then
we start
I will not be driving anywhere because I need to get wasted.
Mhm. And those bridges, they're treacherous. You don't want to be tipsy going over those.
No.
Accurate. Our darling Robin would like to know, Lady Elizabeth, where's the best place and time to say good day and give thee a hug on May 28th?
That's a good question. So
yeah, I have the schedule
is on. Yes, look at that schedule. Look at me not being able to read any of that. So I will be at Duke's Court. I will be at the chess match. I will be at Day's End. I will be at Happily Whatever After and Duchess Improv Show.
Currently,
that's it. That's it for me. That's all the places I will be. So, come to a show. We'd love to see you. I would say, I know that I do have 3 in a row that are boom, boom, boom. I believe the Shire itself is a little smaller this year, so it's going to be a little easier to get around place to place. So just after any of those, I would love to give you a big squinch.
She's got the consumption.
It's happening.
And I believe congratulations are in order for her for a parting ways with a certain candy.
Moving on to a new occupation, and that is something we all celebrate for you, darling.
Cheers, darling.
I love getting toasted.
Mm.
We have 2 more questions. Keep these questions coming, everybody. Yes. These are delightful. Jess would like to know, since you worked in cosmetics, what are some of your favorite go-to products?
Oh, girl. Okay. Buckle in, everyone. So I have worked in cosmetic sales. I don't fancy myself a makeup artist, so I've worked in retail sales for cosmetics. So I've seen a lot of different brands at a lot of different prices. And what I have learned is that typically the cheap stuff is pretty good. So I have I've tested a great number of products in my time. What I was getting from Lancome, Estee Lauder, my beloved, I can get just as good from Maybelline, Juvia's Place, Morphe. At this point, my makeup kit is mostly Juvia's Place and Morphe. I have transitioned away from Maybelline for some things. But if you are looking for anything, I would absolutely go for Juvia's Place, Morphe. They have such a wide array of products. You can get an entire face worth of cosmetics for $100 or so. And you will not be disappointed. You'll have a lot of selection to choose from. So yeah, Juvia's Place, Morphe. I know our friend Lady Viola is also a fan of Juvia's Place.
Mm-hmm. My cheeks are Juvia's Place.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. They're amazing. I actually just gave Lady Elizabeth some new lip colors from the Lip Bar. And
so how what you gave me last year? I know this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a cheap knockoff of you-know-who.
Me?
You're already a cheap knockoff, darling. I'm not going to make a copy of a copy.
You're way
I'm
less
just making sure we're on the
problematic
same
than
page.
What I'm talking about.
No, because I mean, this was when we were wearing masks.
Oh, right.
And I was like, I don't care how many times I reapply. I need it to not smudge because I'm taking on and off the mask. And this is my trademark. I don't know if you can hear it, but we are having fireworks outside. And we know it's fireworks because no one is getting shot with that type of syncopation.
I thought the Saxons were storming the castle. I was concerned.
Saxons.
Will we? The Saxons in this economy? Not again. what is our next question? Jackie has a good one here. I love this. Who do you feel inspired you most in drag or fair?
Ooh.
That's a great question. Madeline Kahn.
Oh, yes. I love Madeline Kahn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was one of those actresses that I didn't realize I was obsessed with her until I connected the dots. And I was like, wait, the one from Clue is also the one from Young Frankenstein? And it's also the one from Blazing Saddles? Like, amazing
and History
actress.
of the World and Silent not Vertigo. The one that's a parody of Vertigo.
Yes.
Yeah.
High Anxiety.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, she is phenomenal. Part of my early research was informed by the Queen from Blackadder. That and Kelly Rowan.
Oh yeah.
For those of you in the Ren Fair world, Kelly Rowan, she is just I would call her a queen, but she literally played a queen. So but no, she just inspires me, and I look up to her. Her and Jennifer Espenshade, they are just goddesses among women to me, and always will be.
I agree.
I took a lot of inspiration from Bette Midler, the sort of does-it-all entertainer. I once described myself as the talent and wit of Bette Midler and all of the aesthetics of Rosie O'Donnell. So I really take that to heart, and it is a clogged heart, especially. So these powerhouse female entertainers, Bette Midler, Barbara Streisand, Cher, of course.
Yeah.
So anyone that's a multi-talented entertainer, Madeline. Now that I think of it, Madeline Kahn, I think has influenced me more than I think. Because I often think about her performance of Not Getting Married Today from Company. I don't know if she was in the official cast, but I saw her do a performance once, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this woman is talented. Yeah,
you've done that, right?
You're her.
I performed that the first time you saw me perform.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, iconic number. And as I started dabbling more into live singing, definitely channeled more and more of Bette Midler. So that's my answer.
I love that.
Thank you, distinguished panel of judges.
This is contestant number 1, Estee Lauderdale. This next question is shady, and I'm excited to hear the answer to this. It comes from the lovely Derek Gamble-Ernst.
Oh,
Lady
Derek.
Elizabeth, there has been an actor on the grounds of the Shire for some years now known as Mitch Ernst. Of all his different characters, which has been your favorite? Garbage, all of them.
It's trash. How can I pick who's my favorite when they're all so terrible? All right, so the selfish part of me says Pasha, because I loved my little squeaky toy. And also that's how I met him. I met him as Pasha. So there's always a piece of Pasha. As a fan of characters, Puck. Because Puck, it's such an iconic character, and it's played so differently. Like, everyone, has different takes on little impishness, but his take on Puck was so beautifully stupid. And I will always go to the story of us on the dais, and the ladies are chatting, and we're like, "Oh, where's Mitch? Where's Puck?" We look over, and he's a few steps away, and he's just sitting there going, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing after this? Fine, whatever, you're fat." And we realize that he's hitting on the horses. Because Puck really doesn't have a species or a gender or a preference, or whatever. Like, he is very, and it's a pun, he's pansexual. Because he's a satyr. And So like the horses are walking towards him, and he's like, hey, 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 and then they turn at the end, whatever, you're ugly, like, I will never forget it, because
That
we're
was
like, is that for us? Is that for the other people? Who is he doing this for? Because he's not doing it very loudly.
we have said for years that being on the dais at a joust is much like unto having teeth drilled. It is, you've seen one, you've seen them all, and we love our knights, we love our jousters, but literally our job is to sit there and bake in the sun for a while.
It's
And
not painful. It's just dull. You're
it's
just
just
standing
dull.
there and watching a rerun, and you have to go, ah.
Exactly. So I just started entertaining myself in a bit I completely stole from Family Guy. I will not even apologize for that. It's a Family Guy bit, but I was just like, this is entertaining to me right now. Because it's the end of the day. I'm deliriously tired. I'm like, I'm gonna flirt with horses because that's where we are.
It was a choice, and I loved it.
Kathleen has another good. There are some good questions coming in tonight, and I'm enjoying these. Favorite comfort movie?
I'll go first. Mine is Little Shop of Horrors, the Rick Moranis from the 80s. Iconic movie. I think they took the musical into such like a almost cartoonish place.
It's where it
having
needed to go.
Yeah, Levi Stubbs as the as Audrey 2, I think is absolutely amazing. He did so many iconic voices that you don't even realize. He did the voice of Mother Brain in a often forgotten
Captain
Nintendo
N.
cartoon. Yeah. He did the voice of Mother Brain in that. He just has that super, super iconic voice. The actress who I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name, that played Audrey in that movie. Whenever I hear a Broadway cast singing anything from Little Shop of Horrors, I expect it to be in her little lispy voice, and it never is. It's such a great movie. It's such an easy watch, and the song gets stuck in my head relentlessly for years.
Ellen
I
Green.
would, yes. Somewhere that's green, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, she is fantastic. And my dream role is to play Audrey 2 about in any live production. I would love to do that someday. So Little Shop of Horrors, my comfort movie.
The original, the man that goes to the dentist, Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, from the yep.
Mm-hmm.
There have been so many wonderful casts lately, and some of the ones that really excite me. Michaela J. Rodriguez just played Audrey in a production where it was mostly people of color, which was wonderful. Because Audrey and Seymour always seemed to be white in that, but this version was like, no, there's other people. I was watching, somebody posted on Facebook recently, I forget who it was, but was just like, could we, stop making Seymour hot?
Yeah.
Could we start casting average people and not hotties in that role? I'm like, well, that makes sense.
That's kind of the point. Like, he's supposed to be a goober.
Yeah. He would have never gotten attention from Audrey, and now that he has the plan, he gets it. And yeah. But I get it. We love hot people.
Not that I know what a movie is. All right. Now that I said that.
Hockey.
I would say it used to be Spaceballs. That was my sister and my drunk movie. Like we would come home, we would put on Spaceballs and just see how long we were awake. But now I think it's kind of become Army of Darkness.
Solid.
Which I did go see Evil Dead Rises. It's fantastic.
You went on Mother's Day too.
Yes, we went on Mother's Day because we're messed up.
Yes.
Motherhood is one of the central themes of the movie.
Yeah.
Good for you. Comfort movie. I mean, we've mentioned everything with Rick Moranis in it so far.
Little Giants.
No.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh God, I was obsessed with that. When it came out, you couldn't tell me anything that didn't have to do with that movie.
Yeah, it's like
I
I'm
tell
gonna
you what,
ride
when
an
we
ant
have
or
it,
nothing.
this is going to be my new comfort movie.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, the first two were absolute garbage, but this one was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't have anything to do with each other, did they?
No.
No.
And that was a good choice.
Yes. This one was made by people that like D&D.
Yeah, actually played it before.
Yes.
Because the characters were way too real. It just says, I love that chunky dragon.
Right? Look.
I have a name.
Well done. Well done, darling.
Good night.
12 points to Slytherin for that one.
I was not mentally prepared for that.
Look, all I'm saying is I need Squishmallow.
Of that.
I need Squishmallow to make this. I want to snuggle with it. I want to squeeze it. I need a Squishmallow of the Chonky Dragon in my life, and I will not know happiness until I have that.
Yes, and I can say as someone who has very little experience with Dungeons and Dragons, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fantastic. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys get like a weird like thing before the movie started of like, you're the real hero for seeing this in a movie theater? Did you guys get that or just me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That was like, is that what we're doing now? Is that we're thanking people for being at the movies while they're at the movies? Nicole Kidman did plenty for that because heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
She's been trapped in that theater for 5 years now.
Yeah, I want that suit. I want that sequin pinstripe suit.
Oh, there is a quick. Oh, who was it?
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen
but
it.
They didn't have that before Evil Dead Rise, because I was wondering. I was like, is this the new thing that they're going to have now? But no, that was the only time I've seen that. But yeah, hers is a little bit windbaggy with the
somehow disembowelment feels good in a place like this.
Well, you know, because hers is saying you're welcome, whereas the other one was saying thank you.
Yes. Yes.
That's the difference for me.
I like that. I'm trying to remember, what is the last movie I saw? I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Loved it.
It will make you cry.
Absolutely. I did not expect that.
No.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Spoiler free then. I will say that was about the time where we were trying to figure out our most recent move for the New Jersey Renaissance Faire. I had spent a week just exhausted and mentally taxed trying to figure out logistics of things. Derek and I, we had Divas Down Under the night before. Our general manager called me at 7:30 in the morning that day. I was beyond exhausted. I slept, we woke up, we went to the movies, and literally the whole movie, I am just exhausted crying. And just, I needed it. It was cathartic. And as soon as it was done, I had to pack up the wagon and get to the Duchesses. Wagon.
The Chevrolet wagon.
I ride a Mazda wagon. It's a Mazda 3 wagon. Anyway. Oh, that poor dead horse. Anyway. But enough about Estee. There we go. She didn't deny a damn thing. What advice, looking back, would you give your younger self going into drag or fair?
Okay, all right. I get reminded of this one often. Stop buying so many sequin gowns. I had this moment where I started out, I think, the way a lot of other people do, where you start like, you buy like stuff on like Shein and stuff like that. And you try to get really inexpensive, fast fashion clothing. I was like, this isn't working for me. I don't like this. I saw someone in a pretty sequin gown on stage, and I was like, ooh, I want one of those. And then proceeded to buy upwards of 15 sequin gowns, floor length sequin gowns. So that would be my advice, is to branch out, because now I devoted so much money that could have gone to so many better outfits. Thanks to Inside the Drag Closet, I heard about coquetry clothing. And my wardrobe has been forever changed. I can get a custom piece in about a week for half the price I was paying for my sequin gowns. Not that my beautiful sequin gowns are not wonderful and worth every penny, but they don't work for a lot of performances. And so I feel like I was pigeonholing myself into this showboating pageant queen that I wasn't. I didn't even want to be that, and yet I was dressing like one. So that would be my advice to my younger drag self: is stop buying so many sequin gowns. You don't need them. You're not going anywhere.
And so, speaking of Sheen, we do have an outfit in common.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we?
I've seen pictures.
Yeah. I do love a good houndstooth moment.
Right, I love a houndstooth.
Mm-hmm,
It's so English.
It really is.
If I could go back to my younger Ren Fair self, I would say, well, if I had known then how many years I'd be doing this, I would have invested in the good shoes up front. I would have bought a lot more hoops, because I need a few fresh hoops. My hoop skirts have more battle damage than some of the knight's armor.
I didn't realize that was the hoop we were talking about.
Oh, I
was like, were we talking like a bigger the hoop, bigger the hoe situation? Like, what is going on here?
Accurate statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I should put stirrups at the bottom of it. It would make things easier. What are you drinking? What is that?
Tea.
What's that?
I have tea.
I didn't know if it was the bourbon and cream soda.
Oh, let me talk about those for a moment. Thank you,
Yes,
Dragon
do so.
Distillery. I've
Now
done
for
a
a word
bunch
from
of,
our sponsor.
right. Dragon Distillery. I've done a whole bunch of nerdy drag shows there. What do we have here? We've got lemon meringue moonshine.
That's my favorite.
Bourbon and cream soda, and party punch. And that over there is strawberry cheesecake moonshine. This is what I call my therapy right now.
See, I was very much looking forward to breaking that out for the after hours, but now we. So if you are, do we tell do the patrons know that it's not BYOB?
I do not know that has been announced yet, but we just recently did find out the after hours concerts are not BYOB.
You can bring food, but you cannot bring alcohol.
Correct. Yeah. Which, it is what it is. We do not control the venue.
It is what it is. They will, the Celtic Society will be there. They will be selling their booze. And
I got a cider from them last year, and it was lovely.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not expensive.
Exactly.
You know, there's that. There's the worst things that could happen. It could be entirely dry. Let's not even talk about that. What was the question?
I've no idea where I am.
Advice to your
younger self.
Yes.
Thanks, Geritol.
I came here to have a good time.
You should have known better.
I should have known better.
That's on you. That's on you.
There's so many things on me. No, I don't know, because everything in my earlier years, I sought advice because everyone, it seemed like everyone else had been doing this for years and years and years, and I just didn't know what I was doing. So I asked people for advice. And a lot of my early success comes from doing the exact opposite of what some people suggested I do. Because they were like, oh, you know, you could the first year we got to pick our own characters. And it was, oh, well, you can be a baker, and it's funny because you're really bad at baking, or you can be a sculptor, and it's funny because you're really bad at sculpting. And I was like, I don't want to be really bad at things. I want to be good at them. So I was a freelance herald, and I was so good that I announced the time, but not like 9:30 or like 9:45. It would be like 9:39. All is well, because that was best doing something not expected. There's the comedy. So I was just like really, really specific with my things, and people loved that because it was silly, and then they knew what time it was. So
That's very true.
yes. Believe in your own Muppetry.
It's funny that you mention like we're gonna make you a baker because you're a bad baker. Every year, to go behind the scenes a little bit, whenever we pick a butcher, the person is always a vegetarian or a vegan, and we never know beforehand. The universe is like, hey, this person here, ha 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 ha.
And they're usually a veterinarian too. Because the one I was like, hey, she's a vegetarian. He's like, oh no, my God, it's all right. She's a veterinarian, so like she'll know like the parts of an animal.
Mhm.
And now she's a bear.
Now she's a bear.
Happens to the best of us.
Accurate.
Some are bear chases.
What would I have told my youngest self? Ren Fair and drag, because
you got
let's
double
put them
whammy
all together. Younger self, I started going to Renaissance fairs when I was super young, and I loved them immediately. And then when I started performing in one, I was just an awkward kid still figuring his life out. Someday I'll grow out of that.
That one picture of you on the chessboard at POF, my brain knows it's you, but I can't make sense out of it.
Yeah, well, I had an eating disorder then. I have that weird thing, like some people stress eat, I stress starve. I forget to eat, and I weighed 115. It was not healthy. Now I weigh significantly more than that, and but I feel so much better.
Look, you can't say anything about your weight because I'm wearing your clothes. So who would that be offending?
Everybody. You're wearing menswear for this evening. Thank you for doing some drag.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
How about that? It's funny, this outfit, the outfit I'm wearing tonight, the woman who made it, way above and beyond my expectations. She actually made sleeves that I can take on, or I don't need to wear them if I don't want to. I also have matching menswear from the waist down. So if I decide to get rid of the skirts and everything, it's a man's outfit. So like, I'm going to put her link up again just because her work is wonderful. She was so wonderful to work with. She thought she had offended me at one point because I said, this is a feminine shirt. And I said it was for the master of ceremonies. And she asked, well, is this going on a man or a woman? Oh God, that's really offensive. I was like, that wasn't offensive to me. That was fine. I understand where it could have been offensive, but it wasn't offensive in that moment.
She checked herself, and
that's actually one thing I've kind of enjoyed this year with the fair. We do have a lovely number of gender non-conforming cast members who are all playing various different roles, and my heart is full getting to work with them just because I have really kind of been an advocate for a lot of them. I'm going to get a little misty, but like one of them, we call them EEP, because their initials are EP. EEP. They came to the Pennsylvania Fair this year on the day I lost my grandmother. And they saw me do a show that day, and we only did one show that day. So I find the universe just kind of coming together and just saying, hey, you were meant to know each other. And so we've had a wonderful time working together. They listen to me, which is fantastic. As being a person in a new directorship, it has been an interesting process, but incredibly rewarding. The good Lady Duchess, most of our directing staff, we have all gotten new titles this year. All of our...
I noticed it was gender non-conforming. I'm like, no.
No, that's full train wreck right there.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we don't even know what trains are.
I'm a tunnel.
But all of our the best part is I heard that coming from upstairs because Her Grace is right up there. I heard you spill your champagne earlier.
Yeah, there was a little panic.
But all of our support cast, all of our wonderful volunteer actors, Her Grace helped them with her incredible team, and their shows are amazing, just amazing. The Duchess identifies as a problem.
Indeed. Yes, that amongst the changes this year, the early on changes were the good Lady Viola's doppelganger stepped in as director, and my own doppelganger stepped in as support cast director. They figured we were just going to never shut up anyway. They might as well give us stuff to do. And they did. And we have. And it has just been a wild season. Like I was on Fox and Friends. I really thought that was going to be the weirdest thing that happened this year.
That was nothing.
That was nothing. Although I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying, 2 days after I was on that, Tucker Carlson got fired. I'm just saying. Did I do anything? I don't know. Did I?
No, but the universe provided.
Yes.
But I mean, but in generally speaking of, gender nonconformity and everyone that watches this show, you came out in such numbers last year. And I remember coming on this show last year, and I said, come out, take up space, be loud. Because the year before, I loved to see it because there was a lovely, good turnout. And last year, holy jeeper creeper, bah, you came out. And we had such a wonderful showing. I mean, other than the fact that last year we broke records every single day. We broke records of the previous day. We broke the internet, whatever that is. We broke the highway. We broke 295, whatever that is. And like just smash grab. It was insanity. And you looked out and there was rainbows on display. There were clack fans at chess, and it was just wonderful to see the community being the community, and it warmed my little draggy heart, and I love to see it, and I want to see it again.
Honestly, I'm going to get a little sappy for a moment.
Now you're getting sappy.
Exactly. I second guessed being Viola this year, just with all of the political shenanigans going on right now. And then I remembered that closing weekend and how many of our wonderful queer guests were just like, that's a drag queen. She's up there. She's calling the chess match. She's just out there. And this character to me is not a queer character. This is just a man playing a part. But there was something that a lot of different people saw in Viola and Cesario that they kind of gravitated to. And I was like, I think this is important this year. So that is why it's all of them that gave me the strength to be Viola this year. And she's doing something you did not see her do this year. So make sure you come to chess.
Foreshadowing. But it's
Spoilers.
and we be the change that we want to see. We are the beauty that we want to see, and it is. I find it very important to just show the representation, because we want to welcome. We want you there, so others can see. Oh, they're here. This must be a welcoming place. I'm going to bring all of mine, and then we're going to be here too. And then, others will see. And let's go. We're going to be so bloody gay. I love it. Stacks of gays everywhere.
We're putting out poppers and mead. It's going to be so gay.
Yes. Yes.
That's the new booth next year. Poppers and mead.
Poppers and mead.
Ye old poppers.
Before we get crazy, it's a kid-friendly event. Calm down.
Jalapeno poppers.
Yes.
We have about 10 min left, and we have three more questions. And these are still beautiful questions. Jackie, full of the questions tonight. I love this.
Jackie.
Is there someone in the community that has given you advice that you now give others? Good question. I don't think so for me. All of the advice, I don't really pass it along. My biggest advice is always do the drag that you want to do, not the drag you think someone wants you to do.
So there's so many bits of advice that like I have learned so much from the man that plays my Lord Husband at the Ren Fair, and that's I use that advice when I am teaching improv, when I'm teaching the support cast, and I can't remember any of it, but what I pass on is the feeling that I got when I was at my first rehearsal, and when Cricket turned to me and just said, "New person," and pounced and hugged, and just she didn't introduce herself. It was just, that was, "You're new and I love you." And that is what I want to pass on to anyone that comes to us. "You're new, I love you, welcome. I don't need a reason to love you. You're here, I love you."
How about you, Estee?
I often pass on the advice that I got from my dear beloved mother, Paula Frost. That is to go bigger, go big. Whether it be you're talking about your makeup, whether or not, hey Paula's mom. Whether you're talking about your makeup, whether you're talking about the way you dress, your padding, your wigs, go bigger, go big. This is drag. We're not trying to be pretty. Go big. We have every year we get newcomers at the campground that foray their way into drag. And last year it was a lovely queen named Marcia Mello. And recently she was dabbling in her makeup a bit more. And that was my advice that I passed on to her was go bigger. You're pretty. That's fine. Go big.
I love that.
Yeah. It's also on my grinder.
That's what that's for. Go bigger.
Low-hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Stop calling Estee names.
Yeah.
It's just
honestly the abuse.
Yeah, that's what you came here for. That's what you've been our Patreon subscriber for. The abuse.
Absolutely.
That's still my favorite, Jess. Someone said low-hanging fruit, and Lady Viola said, "That's my grinder profile." I was like, oh my. I wasn't ready for it.
You're welcome. Very, very important Ren Fair related question. This is actually kind of a serious one and could potentially end friendships and start wars. Turkey leg or pickle on a stick?
Why is there an or? That's like lunch or dinner. You're having both.
Well, you're gonna have both of them at some point.
Yeah. One's a meal and one is a refresher, because pickles have electrolytes. So pickles ready Gatorade.
Full disclosure, I'm not a pickle person, so I'm not pickle on a stick. But I find, we have behind the scenes, we always have drinks with electrolytes that are nearby for us to use. How about you, Estee? Are you coming to the fair?
I'm trying my darndest to come to the fair, but I'm just so booked and blessed. I don't know how I can make it work.
That's valid.
but yes, I will do my darndest to come out there and get both a turkey leg and a pickle on a stick. I am a recent pickle convert. I did not like pickles for the longest time, and I have recently fallen in love with pickles. So it's been a long couple years since my husband left. So I was traditionally a turkey leg person. I've been to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair many a time. And I am excited to try a pickle on a stick.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All the best foods are on sticks.
Yeah. Or if you get someone that like dresses up as a pickle, can they be like a pickle doing a stick? All right, good night,
we're
folks.
Almost out of time.
Well, we only have 5 more minutes left. All right, we can get through
Gotta
this.
go feed Amethyst.
I'm cheering for the background at this point. It just eats you whole.
Consume me.
It keeps spitting you back out. She's a Star Wars crawl.
You can see a polo wig in the background.
That's amazing. So we do have one more question, and this is another that Jackie's just coming in with the questions tonight. I like these. Do you all have traditions you do before a show?
Yeah, self-loathe mostly. I am someone who I am not excited to do drag until the wig is on. I'm ready to go out. Oh God, I lost an AirPod. Oh God. I'm not excited about drag until I'm doing it. So I need to just get myself there. I usually put on Race Chaser, the Alaska 5000 and Willem podcast that recaps Drag Race, and they also do a weekly kind of gossip show. That's like my getting ready podcast. I was listening to it today. They had a double feature for the All Stars 8 premiere. But listening to Race Chaser gets me in the mindset of drag. And then another thing for me is not eating or drinking. So I've had to explain this to a lot of people. I can't go to the bathroom when I'm in drag. I have corset, compression shirt, 2 pairs of Spanx, 3 pairs of tights, fishnets, 3-inch thick padding, like button and hips. If I have to go to the bathroom, too bad. I guess my kidneys are backing up today. So I basically, from the time I start getting ready till the end of the show, no more food, no more drink. So self-loathing, yeah.
That's relatable. For Ren Fair Day in drag, I just plan on not using a restroom.
Yeah.
Because I don't have options. Simple as that. There's not a safe one for me to go into.
I'll go with you.
We have porta-johns at the new one. We do have flush toilets, very nice flush toilets, but there's one right by our dressing room that is probably going to be the one I use. But I also have to basically get undressed to do that.
Would you have expected that in 2023 we still have to worry about bathroom politics?
Ugh. Sadly, yes, because I feel like this nation is on a very dangerous trajectory.
Bit of a backslide, if you will.
Yeah.
I listen to Lizzo while I put my makeup on.
You what?
I listen to Lizzo when I put my makeup on.
That is just a feel-good thing in general.
I love Lizzo.
Lizzo's incredible.
When I let's see, when I'm doing, if I'm doing a stand-up show, I will not be nervous until like 5 seconds before, and then it'll just be like, for the well, there is before every festival day, my Lord husband and I have phrases that we say. One, and I don't know if there's kids watching this, cover their ears.
I want a divorce.
Fair enough. I just figured I would give the extra warning. Before each day is started with, all right, let's fuck this pig. And each season is ended with another season shot in the ass.
It's almost romantic when you say it like that.
Exactly.
I'm putting that in my vows.
And it's funny because he has adopted, well, the first phrase was mine, the second phrase is his. It was something his dad would always say at holidays. Another Christmas shot in the ass.
This makes a lot of sense, actually.
It checks out.
But he has adopted this phrase. So now when he's teaching everyone at the Pennsylvania Fair, he will say, well, as my lady wife would say, let's fuck this pig.
That's amazing. That's deep. That's emotional. Speaking of deep, we still have Derek's helpful drag tip for the evening.
Indeed.
Yes.
And this is a good one. This transcends, I think he wrote it specifically for drag, but it does transcend into the actor realm. And the helpful drag tip tonight is find what you are good at and do that. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. And honestly, why would you?
His tone seems very pointed.
You're welcome.
Other people doing that.
Yeah. It's just, don't oversaturate.
Yeah. That was something I was very concerned with coming into drag is there's a lot of drag queens right now. There's a lot of us. And there's a lot of us doing very similar things. Every time like a new top 40 song comes out, everyone's like, nope, that's mine. That when Renaissance came out, when the Kim Petras album that shall not be named came out, like the amount of people are like, yeah, like no, this is my new repertoire. No one else is doing this. And it turns out everyone's doing it. Yeah. So yeah, be original.
We were joking that at Divas Down Under, like it's been a few years and nobody's done any Beyonce. And then last month, everybody did Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Speaking of Divas Down Under, that show is coming up very soon. I believe it's on June 2nd. So if you have not gotten your tickets yet, you are missing out on the Summer Beach Party Drag Show with Alizela Diamond, Poison, Ashlyn Manhattan, Christina Doll, Katarina Couture, Amethyst Diamond, and Tamia Giselle Michaels. It is on June 2nd at 10:30 p.m. So if you're planning on going to that, make sure you get your tickets ASAP because they have gotten very close to sold out. Sadly, I will not be in that show. I will be up here
coming to my show
because I have to understudy a role that day.
Yes.
Which is actually going to be rather exciting. Yeah. I'm finally at the point of excited about it.
Good.
Yes, I've been stressed out about it. Also, don't forget, we do have merch available. So if you'd like your very own Inside the Drag Closet merch, all you have to do is go on over to jadedevere.com. We have sticker packs, we've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, and we rolled out today the brand new Drag is Not a Crime merch. So that hits home. Drag is not a crime. Crime is crime. Drag is not a crime. Get it right.
Bill said, my lady. Drag is an art form. Like it is so many things, but it is ridiculous. The political theater that is
well, and it predates what I'm doing. 1500s, nothing. The Greeks were doing it. It's been around forever. Don't try to criminalize it now just because you're trying to distract us from something else that's happening.
Yeah. It's an innocent bystander on the war against trans.
Exactly. Daniel says we need Lady Viola merch. Rumor has it that there might be something at the New Jersey Fair this year. An exclusive to Lady Viola. Which I'm going to get Saturday morning.
We're going to get a lot of things Saturday morning.
I know. I'm going to get herpes Saturday morning.
They're going to pay you with your own coin.
Exactly.
Why not? I can't wait for someone to ask me where something is. Be like, I had no idea.
I don't work here.
What stage is that? I'm on that stage in 5 minutes. I'm following you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's literally going to be us the entire time. Hi, we're going to go see the costume contest. Great, where's it at? I'm hosting it. I don't know.
The costume contest is in your heart. And by that, I mean, I don't know where the stage is, but I like yours.
Right.
I guess the costume contest was the friends we made along the way.
Very, very
That's been my
accurate.
phrase this year. I love it.
Oh,
God, should I get
well,
merch? Do I need merch?
you
I want
know,
like a toaster.
I was talking to a queen
A
earlier
bath
today who
bomb.
just started rolling out merch. It's not a necessary thing, but you know what? It is nice for, you know, extra bits of money, you know, extra income. It does not hurt. I am super grateful to everybody who buys merch because all of that merch goes right back into the show so we can keep bringing you the show. In 2 weeks, it will just be Jade and Amethyst just relaxing before the summer comes around and we take a bit of a break because her and I deserve a bit of a break.
Yes.
We're going to be working constantly throughout the summer, and while we love everybody, we have decided to make this seasons of a show and give ourselves a little bit of a respite because, you know, as I'm sure the two of you can attest to, like constantly being in character is exhausting.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yep. And we are almost at the end of our time, but I wanted to give you both a chance to say goodnight to everybody. Estee Lauderdale, do you have anything to tell everybody at home?
I just want to tell everyone thank you so much for coming out tonight. It is a dream come true to be here. I am such a fan of the show. I'm such a fan of Jade, the Lady Viola, Amethyst. I'll let you out of the trunk eventually. It's a Subaru. It's roomy. She's fine. And our good friend, the Lady Elizabeth PERCY, Duchess of Northumberland. You seem nice. You should probably come to karaoke. Maybe sing us a Linda Ronstadt number or two. To everyone out there, if you are ever thinking about dabbling in drag, please do so. But please don't get in the way of my bookings. They are very precious and few and far between. And to anyone out there who is feeling lost and lonely, you are not alone. You are not alone. There is an amazing community out there, and there's an amazing community of people who want to love you and accept you. We are coming into Pride season, and please remember that you are loved and be proud of who you are. Also, follow me on Instagram and Facebook and send money to my Venmo. Thank you.
I love that. Lady Elizabeth, anything to end with?
Let's see. So we talked about the happily whatever after we talked about Duchess Happy Hour. I am hosting a roast next weekend. Chase Treasure is celebrating their 10th anniversary of being a show. And they are being roasted by my Lord husband and I. It is going to be a bloodbath.
I took one of those once.
Yeah, they're going to regret they ever did anything. It's amazing. We're going for blood.
They've workshopped the material with me. Game on, everybody.
It's fun. It's fun. Tuesdays in Trenton, we do improv at Passage Theater. And if you do not want to partake, if you just want to watch the show and not participate, you're in luck because on June 23rd, we have an improv show at Passage Theater, I believe 8 o'clock. The ticket sales are not up yet, but follow Trenton Makes Improv on Facebook or Instagram for more details. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram for just my lovely, witty insights and pictures of my cat.
Yes, and but what a cat it is.
I have a brown cat. But love you all. Thank you so much for your support, your kind words. And, you know, we're going to make a Ren Fair this year. It's going to happen. And we will keep doing it so long as you keep showing up. So please keep showing up. Because I finally went and bought the expensive boots. So we need to keep doing this.
Right. She needs to justify those boots. Yes. Estee, I am so happy you were available to do the show tonight.
Me too.
I absolutely adore you. I've been a fan of yours since the beginning, once you fixed your lips.
One could argue we're still not there.
That would not be an argument I would do. I think you got him.
I'm actually quite happy with this today.
Yeah.
Minutes, so I'm not going to really talk.
Yeah.
Get her.
Thank you, Jade. I'm a big fan of yours as well. Seeing you in Divas Down Under, I guess it's been about a year since then too. It inspired me to because you do the things that I wish I could do in drag, which is do off the wall like numbers. It really you did that Orinoco Flow, whatever that song is called.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I did
love that
Orinoco Flow
number.
as a remix.
Yeah, and then watching you do the Game of Thrones show digitally, where you did your shame number into "Can You Feel It" from the Jackson 5, I believe.
No,
No?
I did. I did shame into. I don't even remember the Temperor.
Okay. Yep.
From the 90s.
Yes, but it was great. So yeah, huge fan of yours as well. Huge fan of the show. I'll let Amethyst know she's great when I unlock the car.
Excellent. Just knock a couple times. She knows.
Yeah.
My lady, you have been my absolute rock this year. I appreciate you. I couldn't have done this without you. And it's been so much. Oh God, here she comes. Shit.
There's still time to run.
I hear the running. I hear the stairs.
You know,
oh God.
Rammstein is a battering ram in German.
Oh crap. Here we go.
Love her so much.
We have had such a tumultuous year. But stay here for a second, darling. I think this is perfect time to just say goodnight to everybody and remind everyone, go forth and be the beauty you would like to see in the world.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Tom.
Thank you for joining us on Inside the Drag Closet.